Hello and welcome to this episode, which is all about our completely non-irrigated dry garden in the blooming month of May, entering its third summer. From the road, our house looks really unassuming and you wouldn't even know that there was a garden behind there. So I'm going to walk you around the property and show you around our garden. Coming down the main driveway, the pictures you're about to see are from 2022, and this is what the building site used to look like. So we did all of this work ourselves in terms of the garden, the landscaping, clearing the rocks, preparing the ground. It was really hard work, but if you look at it now from here, you can see the difference that 3 years, nearly 3 years in this case, has made. The bed on the right was exactly 3 years ago. The one on the left was only 2 years ago. So I'm going to show you what we've done over here. So the idea is that this space here is going to be for a camper van parking area, so we can let people stay for a night or two for a very small fee. And the idea is to cover up the IMOF, which is the septic tank, which is over there. And so this serves as a purpose there. And added on the left, you'll see a freshly rotivated patch of earth, which is where I've extended the bed. I persuaded Pete that I needed more space to plant more plants. Ideally to provide a back screen cover of high giant hollyhocks, drought tolerant hollyhocks, and also an overflow site for the rather rampant California poppy, which I've discovered has got rhizomes everywhere, and you'll hear about in a minute. So this is our area by the car park, which I'm about to talk through with you. Let me talk about Carpa brutus first. If only I knew now what I didn't know then, or no, let me get that the right way around. If only I knew then, should I start again?
Well, you didn't know now. Even I'm confused.
If only I knew then what I know now about the 3 different varieties of Carpa brutus that I got in pairs. This is the Carpa brutus edulis. Do not get it, is my advice, because I spend my time trying to contain it, and left to its own devices, it would just spread. Apparently in South Africa, it's really invasive and they've banned it, etc., etc. So having done some homework now on edulis, I wouldn't get it again. I've already taken one out, and here's a picture of it drying in the sun, because it's impossible to get rid of any other way, drying it before putting it on a bonfire. If you try and put it through the shredder, which we did, you end up with slush like baby food, don't you, Pete?
It was like, you know, those slushies with the rotating, except it was sort of fibrous and
it was disgusting.
And it clogged up the shredder.
Right, so that's the edulis, and this is on a stay of death at the moment, stay of execution. We've decided I'm going to try and keep it contained. I might get rid of it next year, but at the moment it's too important for snails, spiders and other insects, which are all hiding within it when it's hot. This is the one I would have got more of. This is careful of the plants. This is a Carpa brutus quadrifidus. Now that is gorgeous, and here's a picture of it in bloom in March for you.
And Sally, all these pictures, these were your ones you took today with your own camera, aren't they?
Yes, they are, except the one in March was in March, not today. But yes, every other one is. And then the third type of Carpa brutus, which is okay, and here's a picture of it, is the Acinisoformis, and that is sort of between the two. So I've had to trim it back once. It's not out here, so I've had to trim it back once, and it's bearable. That I can live with. Right, so working around the garden, self-seeded sunflowers. Oh, careful, if you step back, oh God. No, just stay where you are, Pete. Just stay where you are. Oh, okay, stay where you are. Don't move, don't move. This is a coronilla minimum, okay? That is gorgeous. Very small, very delicate flowers. Absolutely lovely. This is a Garolindheimerii, and there's a Alba version as well. later on in the garden. This is a Phlomis purpurea, which is in its first summer. Everything else is in its second summer at the moment here. Here we've got a Toicreum fruticans azurium. I'm trying out with a Kniphofia géant, which is a giant Kniphofia. Here we've got baby versions of the Ebenus creticus in their first year. And here's a picture of the ones in their third summer, so you'll see the difference. This is a Salvia gregi. This is a Calamagrostis acutiflora Carl Förster. This grass...
Sorry, Sally, could you say that one again?
No.
Go on.
The other one is over there, and this one is by far and away ahead of that one. I bought a second one of these, which is an Achillea clipulata, which is one of my favourites. There's two different types of Chateray lavenders. This is a silver frost, and that's called a Richard Grey. And they have got the most amazing big blue dark flowers on them. I'm afraid I don't have a picture of, but they will come out later in the year. And along the front here we've got 6 of the angustifolia lavenders, dwarf blues, which as it turns out are not so dwarf after all. Pete's favourite, knows it well, Verbena bonariensis, Pete. Here's a picture with the bee on it earlier today. And over here we've got a bulbine frutescens hallmark, so that's the variety of the bulbine frutescens, so it's more orange than the yellow, bright yellow one. That's on this side. Over here, starting at this end, I've got 3 of these silver-leafed ones, which are Siderita cypria, and I'm waiting for them to flower. Those were grown from seed just over a year ago. This is a salvia to be confirmed, because I'm not sure which variety it is. I confess, I got all my seedlings mixed up. I lost the plant name, so until they flower, I'm a bit stuck. This is a Toicreum flavum. It doesn't look much at the moment, but that's the biggest it's been since it got planted in November 2022. And you can see in the picture that I've got here that the little yellow flowers are starting to come out, and the bees do love that. We've got Agapanthus umbellatus, and this is the amazing Nepeta farzani, which the insects are all over, morning, daytime and evening. This is another interesting one. Saturia tumbra. These are the babies of the original mother plant, which died fairly quickly, but not before it had spread seed. And as you can see in the picture, the bees really enjoy this one as well. Lavandula dentata candicans, very staple lavender for us. We've planted 54 of them further down the land for bees. This is a Euphorbia keratocarpa, which attracts pollinators of the non-bee variety, we've noticed. So flies and wasps in particular enjoy that one. Another Gara. This is a Phlomis. I can't remember exactly which Phlomis it is, but it's rather grand. Let me just check. No, I haven't got it on my list, but it's, and then of course we've got the curry plants, of which I've got quite a few, and that's coming into flower at the moment. So the blooms out here are having some fun. Come with me, come with me. This is the secret garden. We're now in the inner garden, and in here I've got a pink geranium in flower at the moment. That was put in from just a cutting about a year ago. We've got a Euphorbia Caraceus, which is doing quite well. A giant fennel, which is good for the swallowtail butterflies and the swallowtail moths. The larvae, the caterpillars of the swallowtail. Then we've got a Sedum nussbaumerianum, and I've got a beautiful picture of the flower here, which I took earlier today for you. These are both Malaphoras, which are spreading succulents, and they're doing really well at that. This is a Helianthum maximiliani. I know it's not blooming in May, but it will be blooming when a lot of other stuff isn't blooming in August and September. And it doesn't mind how dry and hot it is, and it's bright yellow flowers. It's very jolly. This is a Salvia Bee's Bliss. Oh, I should go, sorry, for you. This is a Salvia Bee's Bliss, which is doing really well. Unlike the one that's by the pool, and here you can see in its poor picture that it's struggled, but one little bit of it has taken root and it's trying to come off there instead. That's a Santolina, which I can't remember the second name of, but it's one of the Santolina varieties. That's the third form of Carpa brutus, the Aciniformis, a Marubium incarnum. We've got a Euphorbia dendroides tree. This is one of my favourites, the blue chalk spikes, and it's called, because I can never remember the name of it, Senecio mandraliscae. Which is rather magnificent because it shows up with all the other colours. This is the original bulbine frutescens, so it's not the variety of hallmark, so this is yellow. Another Salvia gregi, which seems to like it there. The Medicago arborea, which is a bit gone. We're not quite sure, it's probably had its best day, which was March. Perovskia abratanoides. This is a Phlomis, which one is this? This is I haven't got it on my list. Oh yes, I have. Chrysophila, Phlomis chrysophila here. This is Delosperma cooperi, these little purple ones, which will hopefully spread as much as the Malaphoras. And this is our interesting corner. This is called an Aloe saponaria. And while you probably can't see it from the film, here's a picture of the babies that are starting to appear about 20 centimetres away from the mother plants. And there's one flower left, but it did have magnificent red flowers here earlier on. And last but not least, even though it's not flowering, it's beginning to do really well now that we've got the fence up.
Yeah, you put the fence up.
It's called the cat's claw vine, and it's beginning to find its feet now that it's got something to actually climb on.
And where are we going next, Ali?
To the secret middle garden. Okay, see this bruise? See this bruise here?
You don't call that a bruise.
That was because my climbers, the Clematis chirosa and the Lonicera Halliana, Lonicera japonica Halliana, which is on the other side. Here's a lovely picture of the flowers of that one, had managed to get all the way to the top of this poor olive tree. And I did agree with him, but Pete wanted me to take it out so it wasn't strangling completely, because the other thing is we've got more flowers on this olive tree than we've ever seen it have this year. So we might stand a good chance of a harvest.
And these are Chelina donados,
yes,
which should all be dead
by now.
Exiella.
Yes.
All our neighbours' trees are all dead, without flowers or anything, and we've got
tons.
Tons.
Absolutely tons.
Our Italian neighbour came over yesterday and went, "Look at all your flowers." Yeah.
So, into the blooming garden. You're seeing the last of what was an amazing display of California poppies, these orange flowers, which the bees love, and it's so funny because they literally go vroom as soon as a bee lands on them. You've got also coming to their end the Nigellas, the blue love in the mist, which are self-seeded. All of those have just seeded by themselves. This is an Nepeta, oh gosh, now I can't remember the name of it, but for the first year I've put it in a frame because last year, in the first wind and rain, it just went all over the path. So this year it should last a bit longer, and insect life is enjoying that. This is a Lavandula dentata imniniferi, which self-seeds by itself very happily, so I've been picking out all the young ones, but the bees are all over it. This is, I think, Adelosperma corpori, which is very happy in this situation, but again, slightly more flowers about a month ago. This one is a Sister Scanbergi, not blooming anymore, but every single day for the month of April we had new pink flowers, pale pink flowers all over this. And it was magnificent. Even you noticed it, didn't you, Pete?
Yeah. Even I did.
Self-seeded sunflowers. This is a Salvia interrupter, a normal one basically, and getting rather floppy and messy, and I'm very tempted to take them out now because they've done more probably harm than good by swamping other plants, are the two South African daisy plants, the Arctotis acaulis. I'm very tempted to take that one out. So I'm coming over to take you around from this end of the garden now, starting with the passion flower climber.
Oh, look, it's got a fence.
Which got its fence about a month ago, and the flowers are out. I've got a lovely close-up picture of one here for you, and I've seen bees on it, so the pollinators are enjoying that one. The gazanias here, which I've got another picture of for you, basically they seem to just manage by themselves and spread out. They keep popping up everywhere. Over here we've got a plant that I grew from seed just over a year ago, and this is one of the ones that I got mixed up. I thought for ages it was a salvia. It has done very well. It's called a Nepeta tuberosa. And look at how many babies it's already producing, and I'm not sure, I guess it could probably colonise this whole side eventually. This is a Phlomis hang on, bear with me. One moment, please.
Well, you have planted 1,200 plants.
I know,
yourself.
but I really ought to remember them, oughtn't I? This is a Phlomis lichnites, and it's the leaf that I really enjoy on this over the winter time. It's a sort of spiky leaf, unlike the other Phlomis. And behind it is the established version of the Ebenus creticus, which you've seen the babies of out there, and that's why I like it. It's such a drought-tolerant plant that if you water it in the summer, it will die.
Interesting, Sal.
Oh, yes.
Do you mind?
So this is our lawn alternative, which has really struggled in this patch of ground. It's called a Demondia margaritae, and you see patches of it. But in the middle here, 3 years on,
Yeah.
3 years on.
Yeah.
Last week, Pete managed to actually make a proper hole for the washing line.
Well, the story goes is we asked the Italian builders to do it. What they sort of did is put the spike halfway down, put some, not even some concrete, but sort of cementy stuff, and it sort of leaned over by about 20, 30 degrees, and we had to prop it up with some tofu blocks. So as I was digging the holes for the fence manually, I decided that I was going to dig a proper hole, take it all out, and I got 2/3 of a wheelbarrow load of stuff out. And it's no wonder this stuff doesn't grow here, because after about 15 to 20 centimetres down, it was just solid rock.
Yeah.
And I think this is where they put the rubble from the building and they put it here. Then underneath the solid rock, there was the sand. So eventually I got it out, then I properly concreted it in. And if that comes out now, it'll bring out the whole area with it.
Yes.
So at least Sally can reach the washing line
I
now.
can, and it's actually straight the first time ever.
Yeah. Ah, it's not bad. 3 years. Come on.
It's small pleasures, isn't it? Simple pleasures. So this bed here, what you can see, these are all self-seeded. Oh no, hang on, before I go any further, you don't need to come in, Pete, but underneath here, you wouldn't know that there's a flower there, but I saw it, even that one's blooming in May. And it's a Dianthus pyrenaiacus, and there's two of them. And they're very, very sweet, and I'm very pleased to see them alive and kicking. So all around these, which will dry out into these gorgeous seed heads. Oh, and by the way, I collect all the seeds of the California poppies. So this, oh, it's just done it. There's this popping sound. and it splits in two, and you suddenly get a whole load of poppy seeds. And so I collect those to spread around other areas of the garden. And I've got a picture for you here of the tub that I've collected so far. And the other poppy seeds I collected, the wild red ones, like these ones over here, because then I can hopefully influence where they will pop up. Although I did say to Pete this morning, you can't always dictate where a red poppy is going to come up, because it either likes it or it doesn't. A plant that was reliable, given that these are all entering their third summer this year, is the curry plants. It's a Helichrysum metallicum, and it's very happy, and I have noticed some seedlings coming off that one as well. This is an unusual oregano. It's called a dubium, and Olivier Filippi, the dry gardening guru, calls it a rare jewel, and I have to agree with him. I think that's delightful. Coming around this way, I've got some plants which have proved to be very useful at spreading by themselves. One is a toicrium down here, which I've got some photos of for you. And this is a Helianthum apenium, which is also doing particularly well. And the babies are appearing a good foot away from the mother plant, and they're going under the ground. So that's a joy. This is a toicrium flavum under here, I think. Oh no, toicrium aureum here. And that's really unusual heads to that. This is a phlomis that the bees are enjoying. It's called a Phlomis italica. And I've got a close-up picture for you of that one. And coming over this way, a delightful little flower that's in bloom next to the Satura tumbria, which I picked up and replanted, is the Geranium sanguinum, which is drought tolerant variety. Two more nepaters, very, very busy. And one of the pièces de résistance, Pete's favourite.
My favourite.
Is the California tree poppy. But it is another one that, if only I knew then what I know now.
Yay! Got it right.
I would probably have contained it somehow, because the rhizomes are spreading a good metre away from the mother plants. And if I don't take those out, then we'll end up with California tree poppies all over this section of the garden.
But when you bought it, you said that they were really difficult to grow.
Well, all I could say was I read that people find them hard to grow. Literally, I've put that in the ground, and look what's happened 3 summers on, and it seems to thrive. And it's got a partner over there. So that's this side of the blooming dry garden. It's taller than me, and I'm not growing, so this will probably get even bigger. I've got some more Perovskis, which will do their thing in about a month's time. This is a salvia called Leucophila figueroa, and I've got a close-up picture for you here. The flowers are just incredible. It doesn't look like any other salvia that I've got in the garden.
Are you sure it's a salvia?
Yes, cheeky sod. Yes, I'm sure it's a salvia, only because it came in a pot with a label on it.
Really?
I didn't grow it from seed, so I didn't get confused. And this is a Phlomis bovi subspecies maracana, and the creature that there's one there. The one that really likes to go in and get its back completely covered is the large carpenter bee, and we don't know if it's the special carpenter bee or the violet carpenter bee, but there's it. I'm not surprised, because the flowers are just gorgeous. The last one on this side that's worth showing you, even though it's not in flower today, I've got a picture for you, is I've got a new pair of plants that I got from Olivier Filippi's dry nursery in south of France, and it's called a Rhodanthummum catenanche, and that will spread eventually. It's not a very tall plant, but it will spread and hopefully fill these borders a bit. And the other one, that is worth mentioning, is this peach coloured one, because it's an unusual colour. I don't think I've got another one like it in the garden. And it's, have I got the name of it here? Yes, I have. It's difficult to pronounce, wait for it, Spherichia parvifolia. and quite an unusual specimen, but very pretty at this time of year. Come back and see us in a few years' time, and this will be covered in 4 different climbers that we've got. So this is a Rosa Banksia lutea, I think, but it's a thornless, beautiful yellow rose that literally just finished flowering, so I'm sorry you missed that. This is a Lonicera japonica chinensis, and over this way we've got another Lonicera. This is an implexa, and the one that's really struggling, so don't even bother filming that last post, is Begonia capreolata, Madame Garland, and it's come back to life a few times, but it's really taking its time to get up, as it were. So coming through here, the one that's blooming and attracting so much wildlife is the Thymus vulgaris, would you believe, the common thyme. It's one of my favourites for getting the pollinators. Lots of little butterflies love that one. And walking back here, you'll have noticed these great big things dotted around. They're all self-seeded Salvia sclaras. I had one mother plant and it just went, so the seeds are everywhere. This is probably the biggest baby it had, and you can see the buds there. And this will flower in June. It's too early for it at the moment, but it will get there. And then, of course, under here we've got the Verbena Verbena hybrida, which is, we're trying to cover this area with a lawn alternative so that we can get rid of the weeds or help to suppress the weeds. And this went in the ground in April, mid-April, and it's still flowering and it's attracting bees and insects, so we're really pleased with that. And the idea is that we'll eventually fill the whole citrus grove with it. I've got about 200 seeds of Verbena hybrida, so I reckon that's probably how I'll do it. Worth showing, because they're in bloom, are the 2 types of snapdragon that I grew from seed, and I must have had about 150 of each of these because all the seeds came up. So most of them are out the front of the land struggling for survival, but these ones got treated to the inner garden. This is it's actually an Antirrhinum, which is the snapdragon bit, brown blanketti, and this one is the Siculum, Antirrhinum siculum, or I might have got it the wrong way around. Either way, that's those 2 there. This is a difficult corner. That's the Salvia bee's bliss that is struggling. And as is, that's a Cistus salvifolius there. We did get a few flowers off that. But look, we've got 1 flower on our Leucophyllum langmanni, which went in the ground about 18 months ago. And do you know what? That's not a bad size. All it will take is 1 shower of rain and that will probably burst into blue flowers. Very pretty bush, that one. And over here, the last bit of our secret garden, blooming in May. This blue corner, it's actually only 2 salvia plants, and that is the Salvia Chamaedroides, I can't pronounce it, Chamaedroides isochroma. That's that one, and it's covered in bees. The Senecio viravira next to it likewise attracts the small pollinators, less of the bees, but nonetheless it's very busy. And this is another Salvia Gregi, I believe. Now behind it, not that you'd know it because it's coated in wild poppies at the moment, are 2 plants. I took a photograph of one knowing that you wouldn't be able to see it. Behind that there is, oh gosh, I can't remember what it's called now. Hang on. Oh, no. Bear with me. I tell you what, we'll put it on the film. It might be easier. Oh no, it's a Campanula, Pyramidoides or something. It's a big blue flower.
Yeah, we'll put it up.
Yeah. Okay, I think I've taken you around the whole garden.
And the pool.
Oh, yes. Still to have our first dip in the recently commissioned pool. that we took the winter cover off 2 days ago, and I can't wait to get in that. Today's the first really hot day that we've had for a while, so it was just in time.
Phew.
Hope you enjoyed this whistle-stop tour of the garden in May, and if you'd like to follow us, then we'd be delighted if you subscribed. Do ask me any questions or make any comments in the box below, and if you enjoyed it, please give us a thumbs up. Thank you.